Hey, everybody. Welcome to the iPhoneography podcast. It is, as we record, Monday, October 6th, and the iPhone 17 series have been out for a couple of weeks or so, and there has been some reports of issues with the cameras. So that is what we are going to talk about tonight, and I'm going to bring in, let's say, Dave. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm here for the every person who does not have an iPhone 17 or 17 Pro.
Yes, that's right. And you're going to bring your soapbox out too, I hear.
I will, yes.
Yeah. And we have Dwight. Hi, Dwight.
Hey, guys.
And so I just couldn't do this show without our special guest. This was organized like two and a half hours ago, so I really didn't have time to promote it. But you've all seen this bloke before, Mr. Shayne Whoops, hang on. What did I do? There we go, Mr. Shayne Mostyn.
Nice entry.
I hit a button and something popped up out of the blue
sky. Coming through the door.
Yeah.
So you brought me on twice, so you got to pay twice fees, two appearance fees, right?
Yeah, 2 appearance fees. Yep. How are you, mate?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. All right. We have had absolutely gorgeous weather here this last few days, as high as 28 degrees or so. And that's not too bad for this time of year, but it's going to change. It's going to change quick. Oh, Ray Buzz is in the chat. How you doing, Ray? Good to see you here. And Mr. Scott Baker.
Did you see Scott's photo of his dog this morning?
No, I didn't.
It was amazing.
It says Tuesday, Scott. Did I not change that to Monday? Dadgummit. Anyway, here we are. Hopefully everybody's realizes it's now, not tomorrow. The other October 6th.
But the question is, when will then be now?
I don't know.
The answer is soon.
Maybe in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Scott says, how do I get 30 seconds?
I'm sure he won't care that I'm showing you. Look at that.
Oh, I gotta see. I gotta look.
Is that a wolf?
Up. No, that's Rosie. Isn't
Rosie,
it?
yeah.
I think that's Rosie. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that is sweet. I gotta look that up. Is that on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's his personal,
and that's
personal
with the
page.
8 times.
So here I am sharing it with the world.
Yeah. that's with the 8 times on the 17 Pro. You got the Pro or Pro Max, Scott? I think you just got the Pro, didn't you? But anyway, it looks pretty good considering there's been issues with these cameras. So, Shayne, you've got the 17, the base model. You decided not to go with the Pro this time. I think for what you're shooting, I think that's fine. That's just as good as does it do Pro RAW?
Nope.
No. Okay. Do you think that might be a difference? Do you think that might be a difference in what you're getting, like as far as image quality, or do you think it really matters?
I've seen photos from Dale, and the photos that I'm getting out of the 17 base model, and the photos that Dale's getting out of the 17 Pro Max, it's the same. I can't see any difference.
Yeah.
In saying that, you look through the last four iPhone models, but the last significant change, I think, with what I do with the Astro, the last significant change was the 14 to the 15, because that was it was a lot sharper stars with the 15 and 16. Don't worry about talking about that and the issues that we're having with this. Well, I think the problems that I've been having with this phone, with the focusing on the stars, should be fixable. But I don't think this is like a problem that's not going to be able to be sorted out. I think it's an update down the track is going to fix this, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with that. I've got an outline put out here. The first thing was, there was when people were at a concert and they took pictures of the big LED screen behind the artist, there was issues with how that came up, like black boxes, white squigglies, and all this stuff. That's supposedly been fixed with iOS 26.0.1. So there's really not much point in even going over that. But the fact is that there was an issue with the cameras, and so the update apparently fixed glitches in the camera caused by certain LED lighting conditions. Okay, whatever. It's supposed to be fixed. I haven't heard otherwise. But this issue with the autofocus, I'm going to pull up. So we're not going to really look at many pictures at all tonight, or any really, other than what I'm going to put up here. This was some stars out behind where I work one night because the aurora was supposed to be out, and I thought, okay, I'll go out and just see if the camera can pick it up. It didn't. I wasn't too surprised. But I'll be damned if I can get that thing to focus. And what
format were you shooting in, Greg?
That was Pro Raw.
Okay.
Now, what I want to also see if I can show, I don't know if I can show it or not. I'm not sure if it's no, it's not going to come on the screen, was I've got the info palette up there, or the info pane, and I'll pull it off to the side so I can see it. It has the information on as far as, what was focusing. Where the hell did it go? There we are. So it had ISO 6400. It's the 24 millimeter camera, so I used the 1X, obviously. I had the EV at minus 0.6, and it says it was a 1 second exposure, but it would be, I think, 3 seconds at least. Now, in that little info thing there where it shows the type of metering that was used, it's spot metering, and that's probably because I tried tapping on a star. And it couldn't get the focus. And that's exactly what you've experienced, Shayne. And in that video that you put out there about a week ago, you were talking about just that thing, about how it didn't focus.
Yep.
Now, Greg, did you try to lock focus or just tap?
Both, probably.
Okay.
So about 30 seconds or so later, I put it up again, and I didn't tap to focus, and this is what it came up as. Everything was, and now the metering in the information there is pattern. It's pattern mirroring, not spot metering. So I don't know if it makes a difference whether you try to tap to focus or just don't try to tap to focus at all. Did you try that, Shayne, at all in your experimenting with this whole thing?
Yeah. A couple of things with what you were talking about then. Metering is not going to affect focusing. Metering is just for exposure.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't sure if it would or not. Like, especially when you just tap the screen to focus. I thought maybe that forced it into spot.
Tapping the screen does two things. It sets the exposure and it sets the focus. But the metering, the way I would explain it to people is if you looked at our whole computer screen right now, if you took all of that into consideration, that would be your pattern metering. But if you did this like a pirate and then looked straight through the middle and only looked at like the black screen on the photo, that would be your spot metering, and everything else on the screen would be overblown depending on what the screen's doing. But that's not going to affect the focus. So I've tried with this phone. So going back a little bit, I think it was the iPhone 14. From the 13 to the 14, you had to touch onto a star. And then the 14, it wasn't working. I did a video. It was like, this thing's bloody terrible. It's not working. There was an update done. And you then had to not touch the screen at all, not touch for a start. Just, it was the most automatic thing you could possibly do. And put on a tripod, wait for 30 seconds, shut a button, take a photo, everything's sharp. And everything in the foreground and everything in the foreground was in focus. It was quite good. And that was the way through all of this. And with this phone here, I do that. As in, don't do anything, put on the tripod, hit the start button or hit the shutter button and wait, and it would come back sometimes in focus, sometimes not in focus. More often than not, it wouldn't be in focus. You just tap on a star to get the focus. I'm going to say about half the time, maybe a bit more than that, it would go to focus. If you touched and hold it to lock it all, I'd say about 70% of the time, it would get in focus. I've not found anything yet to say this is how to do it 100% of the time, which is why I think it's probably fixable with software.
Yeah, I think it would be too, especially since they were able to fix that stuff in the past, like with the 14 and with this LED screen issue. I seriously think they could fix this. I was hoping that last update would have fixed it, but I'm seeing and hearing that it hasn't. So
doesn't the iPhone try to pattern focus in general until you...
By default, yeah.
Yeah. So then when you hit something, it goes to spot focus.
Yes.
And lock it. And lock it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you have to lock it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's a bit of a pain, especially for guys like you, Shayne, who do this, the astrophotography, and it's it's bad enough that the 16 was a failure for that line of work, that now you got to deal with this kind of crap.
The 16 was only a failure for some. There's plenty of people out there who have a phone that's working perfectly fine.
Yeah, well, true.
There's also plenty that that's not working perfectly fine. So
yeah,
I don't. When people ask me, should I buy the 16 or 15, 16 or 17, and it just depends on what you're going to do. I would never recommend the 16 for Astro because it's a gamble. It might be perfect. Everything outside of that, it was fine. Well, no, not quite, but for the photography point of view, it was fine. And this one here, I kind of go, it's early days. We'll see. I'm guessing this focusing thing's going to be sorted out. It's not just mine. Like, it doesn't matter what level of phone. They all seem to be doing it. I don't know about the Air. I don't know anyone with an Air, but the pros and the non-pros, they all have exactly this problem with the focus one.
Shayne, you're not seeing anyone who has like a 16 or 15 have the same issue? It's only the 17s?
Yep.
With the focusing? Yeah. The 16, I found it focused no problem at all.
Yep.
Yep. What's interesting for me is before the update, I was going down to the harbor for I was kind of testing the low light capabilities of this thing, and I could not get anything in focus. And when I looked at the photograph after, when I got home and blew it up on the screen, it was just completely noisy. And then I was noticing that my camera was switching lenses and stuff as well. That has all been fixed with the update for me. So I'm not noticing any issues right now with my cameras on the 0.1 update.
Or the 0.1, right?
0.1.
Yeah, because there's 0.1 is out in beta.
0.1 is coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I think Scott Baker has that in his phone. But it's a real annoyance. When people buy these things, we pay a lot of freaking money for them. And to have this happen, I mean, it's a real letdown. It would never make me look at a Samsung or any of these other ones, but not like, who was it? It was in our, there it is. We were having a little discussion in the Bloody Legends admin group chat about this stuff, and I forget who it was, Shayne, that suggested, or that maybe suggested I was going to maybe look at Samsung. I think it was Baker, and I said, no, that's not going to happen.
I was asking about where you work, so I've got to work out when that's going to be, and then I'll send one for your final day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I was thinking I'll send you the box from my S25 Ultra, and you'll open it, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, he sent me a phone." Inside, when you open, it'll be a phone. I'll be doing
this. Dwight, you missed that.
What's that on the chat?
He was going to send me the phone box, and then when I open it, it won't be a phone; it'll be a middle finger.
That'd be awesome. I can see that happening.
This focusing. I remember, I think it was Reflex, when Reflex first started, and I had one of their cases to test some of their lenses.
Oh,
and
yes.
The case would mess with the LiDAR.
Mm-hmm.
And it was exactly the same results as what I'm getting here. Obviously, that's not what's causing it, but the results are the same. Like, the focusing looks exactly the same. It's that far blurred, like it's gone past the point of focus. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But when I first took the photos, I'm like, oh shit, I've got a case on this. I didn't realize it's not that, because you could just take the case off. In the other situation, just take the case off and take the photo. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, for when it's in night mode, does it use the LiDAR at all for any bit of the focusing? Stars, obviously, wouldn't make any sense, but I'm just trying.
I don't think the base models have LiDAR anyway.
That's true. You're right. Yeah.
They use, it's like a contrast phase sort of focusing, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at one photo, take another one exactly the same way, and they are both all the metadata between the two are exactly the same, but one's not in focus. So which is why I think it can be fixed.
Yeah. Well, I know, and I forgot that you didn't have the Pro. That the Pros, they moved the flash and the LiDAR much further away than it was before. So now when they do focusing, they now have to take into account, instead of being in the little box, it's way over there. Yeah.
And that is a good thing for when you want to use like an external lens on these things, because now the lens won't cover that LiDAR sensor, and you'll be able to get focus.
Every year that I've had this channel, and I take photos with the new iPhone, this is the first year I've ever not got the Pro. And every single year I get people saying, you should be doing this on a base phone. We can't all afford Pro phones, blah, 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 blah. Every year I get inundated with that. This year I went to the non-Pro. Guess what people are saying?
Yeah. Why aren't you testing this on the Pro? You can send them a box too.
or now you can say, well, why aren't you testing this on the Air, the pretty one?
I know, right?
Yeah. Based on the specs, I don't think it really has I don't think there's a lot of difference between the Air and the base 17. So I think whatever's experienced on the 17 will likely happen with the Air as well.
I mean, it sounds like the main difference is that the Air has a binned Pro chip, but that really it says the graphics that's like 1 bit off. So for speed, that may make a difference, but unless the instructions are different between the base and the Pro model, the chips, unless they're putting more, something different with the image with the image pipeline, that there really shouldn't be that much of a difference other than the zoom.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is just me and my use of the phone, and in the years gone by, I'm going to say probably from the 13 onwards. Besides, like the camera button on the side, like we so many people talk about the specs, and this is every phone. This isn't just iPhone. This processes this much faster than last year. Honestly, I can't tell the difference. I use the phone day to day, and I can't tell the difference between this phone and that phone, just for daily use. And for photography, like to steal your term, we're generally picking the fly shit out of the pepper to find something better in this year's phone than last year's phone. And that's not an iPhone thing. That's every phone. So I still use the S23 Ultra and the S25 Ultra. I go for what I do, and I go, it's a bit better. A bit better. Is it $2,000 worth of phone bill? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I maintain, and I'll die on this hill, the only reason I upgraded the last 3 years is for this podcast. And I did it as long as I was working. Now I'm retiring in the new year, and will I be able to do it next year? Like I said, I think if it's the last show or the show before, I don't know. If I can, I will. Let's put it that way. But for the average consumer, and even photography enthusiast, I would say it's not, you don't need to get one every year. You just don't. I mean, unless you want the latest and greatest, or if you're lucky like Dwight, who's on a program where you can just pay a monthly charge or whatever, and it's like leasing a car. You just get the new one every year. And I wish they had that.
When you retire, you can visit Shayne and work on his farm.
Well, we talked about that, and it would cost.
How do you think you'd do, Shayne?
It would cost me both arms and a leg to fly there.
Yeah, there's plenty of shit here that he can stir. That's all good.
Yes, Scott says have to get the budget Samsung after retirement.
Get one of the burner ones from a prepaid plan.
Yeah.
For kicks, guys, I just did a quick search on Reddit, and I typed in the search bar 17 Pro focusing issues, and we're not alone. All right, so other people are looking at this. So yeah, it'd be interesting to take a look at that, and hopefully Apple's listening to all of that And
Well,
Shayne,
I'm
I believe
sure
it's probably a software.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're aware of it.
But last year with the 16, because so many people had this problem, and then so many people didn't have this problem, I really do believe that was a hardware situation with many phones. This, I think, is fixable with any phone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So another thing that I've found in my researching this is a delay or a lag, like shutter in the shutter response, in how quick you can take a picture, then take another one, another one, another one. Now, Jack Hollingsworth, when he shoots, he takes like bang, 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 bang. Like he'll take 5, 6, 7 pictures within a couple of seconds of whatever it is he's taking a picture of. And because the camera will move a little bit as you're standing there, unless he's on a tripod, of course. But it's when he's taking the portrait, he takes a lot of the different ones and picks the best one type of thing. So what I don't know is, and I haven't tried this myself, I did try taking multiple pictures when I was walking the dog after supper here, and I noticed that there was a lag. However, I was taking 48 megapixel hike photos. They weren't Pro RAW, but they were just hike, and it stumbled a little bit. Like there was a little bit of a delay in between a couple of those. Scott Baker, he says he's noticing it too. You'd think with the bloody processors in these things, this A19 Pro chip with all these, GPUs and CPUs and all this crap that's in there, it would be able to handle that, even in Pro RAW. I mean, if it takes ProRes RAW video, it should be able to take a number of shots in, one after another. Dwight, have you found this at all? And Shayne, even with your 17, have you tried taking multiple shots like that and to see what it would do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing it right now, and I'm rapid firing on 48 Pro RAW. I'm having no problems.
Really?
Yeah.
Perhaps it's something else, like other things that people have got running on their phones at the time.
That could be.
Yeah, I never thought of that. And I'm famous for having dozens of apps open. Like I don't force close apps because even Apple says that's harder on your battery. When you force close apps every time you're done using it. But
and I think Dave came up with something interesting earlier. I mean, he'd mentioned how the LiDAR sensors are farther away from the cameras. Did they build in the proper algorithm, to triangulate that? I don't know. That could be part of the issue there.
Yeah, it's hard to say. So our notes say some feedback is that taking pictures in succession, back-to-back shots, has more noticeable delay, or the camera app feels less snappy. Sorry. Also, switching between modes, video to photo, or back and forth between video and photo, may feel slower. So I haven't tried that either, like going from photo to video or whatever, too quickly or anything. But
now, I mean, at least on my 16, I haven't noticed like a lag, and that's definitely would be 100% software.
Yes,
switching modes, and honestly, with the new liquid glass and the new, we built everything new from the bottom up, I could see some issues where they can do so much testing beforehand, even with thousands of people doing testing, even with all the beta testers, and then person number 5 million does something they haven't even thought about testing for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I heavily used it over the last 2 weeks, Cat, and I pretty much use live photos because I could not get a stable platform to take it with, and live photos does a really good job of, if you're moving around, it'll give you a halfway decent photo. I didn't really notice any issues per se on the 16.
Yeah, so that would mean it's obviously not an iOS 26 problem. Right? I haven't heard whether anybody's having that issue with iOS 18 still, like on the 16 and back or whatever, but yeah, so I don't know. It's really weird that these things are happening. And now here's a really strange one. And I'm glad I haven't heard of anybody personally that has this, but dust particles or dust or particulates underneath the lens glass. So it says a few users have said they see fine dust inside the camera module behind the lens cover even very soon after taking the phone out of the box. While sometimes not affecting photos, it's concerning from a build quality point of view.
So they were assembling them out of the clean room.
Well, you'd think so.
Because
has anyone actually seen photos of this?
I haven't. I can
because they don't make the
find
camera
out
modules.
Where that came from.
Apple does not make the camera modules. Those are they used to be Sony. I'm assuming they're still Sony.
Sony makes the sensors, yeah.
Yeah. So, Apple may design it and put in the specifications, but they're not the ones grinding the glass and putting stuff together.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a minute, guys.
It is an issue if you do a search on it, for sure.
I can find out where I saw that.
Yeah, if you search dust behind iPhone lens and hit images, you'll see some of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's...
I don't know if you can see this.
I think that's going to be such a small, isolated little... Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to be... There's going to be so few of them that I can't see Apple issuing a recall. You might be able to take it to the Apple Store, and if you have Apple Care, say, well, this should be under warranty for a year. You should be able to say, hey, this isn't good.
And if you have the new phone, you're still probably within your 14 days. That's when you have your most negotiating power. Once you get out of that, it gets a little squirrely.
Yeah, but
Shayne,
I think
you've been there.
Like, if you had Apple Care, I think that should put you back into the discussion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably hit it with a hammer first, then bring it in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I'm reading a Reddit thread at the moment with that dust, and that's what people are saying. Just get Apple Care and hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
I had an iPad once that had something wrong with it, so I just put it on top of my car and just drove off and waited for it to hit the ground, then I brought it in.
Apple, you're not listening to this, I hope.
No, that was just a joke, Apple. Sorry.
I don't think they even know this podcast exists.
Who knows?
Well, so I haven't, I've experienced the focusing issue. I've kind of experienced the lag, in the shutter response issue. I didn't experience the issue with the LED screen, like at a concert, that type of thing. I think that has a lot to do with the frequency of those lights, maybe, and with the sensor itself. Something else that's been reported or at least brought up is color, lighting, HDR, over smoothing, AI processing issues. Users are noting that in some shots, automatic adjustments, especially HDR, tone mapping, possibly AI upscaling, produce unnatural effects. Color oversaturation or smooth texture, maybe loss of detail or strange exposure around faces or highlights. I haven't noticed that, and Dwight, you and I have been kind of throwing this back and forth that we think maybe the Apple secret sauce stuff is looking better this time than it was even with the 16.
I see less processing in my photos, which is pretty amazing. So they're a lot softer. But I'm still, if I'm shooting in ProRAW, I'm still taking it into Lightroom because they haven't updated the profiles yet. And I'll use the ProRAW profile, and I'm taking that tone amount all the way down still. But even before that, these photos that I've been taking have looked way less processed. I have no idea why or if that's something baked into the new software. But I have not had that glowing, almost metallic overexposure look in anything I've taken with this phone yet.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
Cool. So I've seen that in Dale's videos, he did the 15 to the 17 sort of situation with the stars, and the 17 definitely had less stars. So that could be part of what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Will Newcomb, by the way.
Yes. Nice to see him jump in the chat. And his 17 Pro Max comes at the end of the month. So don't let this conversation scare you. Well, we're talking about issues with the cameras in these things, but we figure that they'll all be solved with software updates. But yeah, and I've been shooting in hike a lot more because I've been playing around with the photographic styles again. It's like this time of year up here in Canada, and Dave, you'll see it too, likely at some point, if not already, with the color changes in the trees with autumn.
I'm waiting still.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're not really all that changed here. There's a few that are changed, but it's not as brilliant as it has been last year at this time. Now, it's either really slow or they're just going to turn a little bit and then fall.
That's what they're saying around here. Color. That's what they're saying, because we've been so dry this summer where we are in the middle part of summer, we were like 5 inches below normal, and we're borderline drought conditions. So they're saying that the leaves are basically just going to stay on, turn brown, and fall.
Yeah.
We're not going to have we're not going to have that painted scenery that you're used to.
Yeah.
I mean, we're right now we are 10 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. Our temperatures now are close to what we would expect in like June. June or early September, and not early October.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we have more color, but I really like using the photographic styles for these autumn pictures, because there's so many different ways you can edit just a single photo. You can use one of these many different styles on it, and I'm finding gold is a really good one to use when you do have color in the trees. But as far as the image quality goes, I think it's a little better. It's not it doesn't look as overbaked as it did before.
It does to me until you reduce the tone amount. And that's the beauty of those. So they're changing it back to HEIF, I think, on the 0.1 update. I think I read that somewhere. But anyway, when you look at the graph that's using the center or whatever your last edit was, it'll stay there. But if you drop that thing, that button straight down, it reduces the tone amount. And then you can kind of play with the color. So Greg, I found that on the amber and the gold, if you reduce the tone to 50 and increase the color to 20, and you have the palette at 100, I think that's spot on for landscapes and stuff. I would think those, for both of those styles, would be great for the fall.
Yeah. It's one of the best things they've done in the iPhone camera system, I think. Apart from, had they given us a proper pro mode, that would have been probably the best thing. But I mean, these photographic styles make things so fun and interesting to play with.
And I picked up. Oh, sorry, Greg.
No, go ahead.
Let's say something I picked up from the last show, because I really wasn't using the left side of the photographic styles. The amber, the gold, the rose gold. The new bright one. I wasn't really using that because it said undertone. So I thought, and I think I read one. It's like, well, think about those for, like faces or skin tone, and the other one's more because the left side a little bit is not as dramatic as using the right side. You go from, natural, vibrant, dramatic. You really like, wow, that really punches this or changes this. It's like it's not really a photographic style. It's really like a filter.
The right side are the filters. Yeah.
So that really throws it on there, where the left side's, you have a little bit of a goldish tone to it, almost like golden, a very like golden hour with like the gold or the amber, and the ones where it's a little bit darker in I forget which one, but one's a little more darker in the shadow versus brighter for, I think, gold or rose gold. It's like just a tidge of a difference. It's much more, much more, I want to say, delicate change to it, where it's not that if you go between them, you're not going to get slapped in the face with changes.
Yeah. Shayne, have you noticed any difference in the image quality, like with the 17? Like, as far as, the over processing and all that sort of thing, like I don't know how often you've taken pictures during the day, but have you noticed it, good, better, indifferent?
I don't actually use it for that. I honestly couldn't tell you. I use my iPhone. I use it for the Astro stuff, and I use it for video B-roll because it's a bloody awesome video camera with the stability. But other than that, I don't use it.
Okay. I'd be curious to see what you think if you did try it, just for a couple of impromptu shots of something. If I'd be curious to see what you think. If it, does it do a better job of, or maybe you don't even have anything you can compare it to as far as an iPhone goes. In the past, you probably never used them for much either in the daytime either, like other than, like you say, for video. But yeah, I mean these camera issues, and I'm sure there's others that I didn't come across, but it's kind of hitting all three iPhone models, like the 17 base, the Air. The Air is not even called iPhone 17 Air; it's just called iPhone Air. So, but I'm including it because it's it's in this cycle of releases here, and of course the Pro models. I hope they clear things up. I got an inside guy at Apple right in the camera department. And I haven't tried to message him yet, but I think I might just do that sometime and see what he comes up with or see what he says. At least what they're aware of would be nice to know. And I'm sure they're going to have an update that's going to fix this. Like 26.1 may fix it all. Scott Baker, I think you're probably still on the betas, so you'll be on beta 2 of 26.1. I wonder if you're going to see anything different in that regard, like as far as the focusing issues and things like that go. I'd be curious to know that. Any other issues that you guys have seen at all with these cameras, or have we pretty much covered it all?
Not so far, Greg. And honestly, I haven't had a whole heck of a lot of time to take photos, but I don't have any real major complaints right now. Yeah. I can see where there can be issues with the software and stuff, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed that 0.1 takes care of that.
Yeah. Now I don't know. Like I'm off the betas now on both my phones. I'm just on the regular whatever the public has. That's what I'm on. I turned off the beta updates because I kind of like to just keep them stable unless something really, really interesting comes out in one of the releases. So I'm going to rely on this guy. If you're on YouTube, you'll see it. But if you're not, then what it says is Scott Baker says, unsure how to get 30 seconds. That's in the iOS 26.1 beta 2. Shayne's just.
Hey, it helps the algorithm. I'm okay with it.
Yes,
you idiots.
So, quick little backstory on this whole thing, and I think I've explained it on here before, is that whenever Shayne puts a video out, one of us clowns has to go on there and says, how do you get 30 seconds?
The funny part is when people outside of the joke goes, basically, what the hell is wrong with you? You put it on a tripod. He said it in the video. What's wrong with you people? That's funny. But one thing I wanted to add to this is the third-party apps. Have you guys been shooting much in third-party apps or not with the 17?
Yeah.
Just reflex.
Yeah, reflex, but I don't think they have the lenses correct yet, okay. Right?
Yep. Well, even longer, the amount of photos I've taken with even longer, and they're just gone, like gone, don't know where they are, gone. And I've been talking with Mario about syncing it with the iCloud and stuff, and it doesn't seem to matter. This is kind of like the focusing thing. You can get it to work, and then it doesn't work. You get it to work, then it doesn't work. It's bloody weird. I don't know.
Project Indigo is not working.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
that's hard down.
Not at all?
Yeah.
So
when did it go down?
Well, try opening it on your phone, Greg.
I didn't put it on my new one.
Oh, okay. Can you?
So when I updated, I started from scratch with all my apps and that.
Oh.
And I put them on as I go. Right
there.
So
my, we apologize. Wow.
But Indigo is not
16.
yet supported in this device.
What?
Currently
Yeah, right.
supported devices
12
are
through the 16.
12 Pro.
It's
Oh, no,
coming
that's
soon.
what is. That is what's supported. Okay.
Oh,
It's
Okay,
physical
yeah.
memory and device type constraints.
Okay.
uh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
coming
the
soon.
The
but
older
not the
ones, yeah.
17. Huh.
It's coming soon, yeah. Well, isn't that something?
Yeah.
You'd think they'd been on that before now.
Disco
Interesting.
capture's fine. See if Halide. Halide
Halide's
has the
fine.
4X.
So, okay, here's something. It and it's the same with. I've tried it with Reflex and Halide, and I'm sure it's going to work the same on any other third-party camera app. And that is when I shoot a bare RAW file, not Pro RAW, but the bare RAW. There's if I'm holding my phone up like this, on the left side of the frame, there's it fades to really light, almost white, right down the edge. It's kind of like that line gate we had with, I forget which phone it was. It was either 14 or 15, where there was a white line down through a bare raw image.
15.
Well, 15? Okay, so it's now shifted over to the edge. And Ben Sandowski from the Halide team said that it's an issue with iOS, something to do with iOS writing to I'm going to have to look it up. I would have found it before this if I'd known I was going to mention it, but he says it should be able to be fixed in iOS. So if I was to take a picture of the sky, it would be blue, and then on that left side of the frame, it would fade to almost white. And it's really...
So it's the same then as what was on the 15. It's the same problem.
I would think so, except it's on the edge of the screen now instead of down like 10% of the way through it.
Yeah, I think Will Newcomb, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, brought that to my attention to initially check out. Now, are you finding it on all of the lenses on Halide in Bayer RAW, or just the wide?
Let me just
try
it and see.
See, on the 15, it was on the telephoto lens.
Let me see here. Trying to find a blank spot on the wall here. Okay, I'm in RAW. And so in Halide, you have to make sure you select process 0.
Process 0, right.
Because it's the only, because there's Apple processed hike, Apple Pro RAW, and process 0.
Wow,
so
it's not even letting
1X,
me. It's not even letting me.
And the 4X.
It's not letting me select process 0. That's weird.
Okay,
so if you're listening to this in your car on your way to somewhere, there's basically two blokes on the screen pointing their camera around their room. Just to keep you in the loop for you audio-only listeners.
So it does only show up in the telephoto on mine.
Interesting.
So, yeah, like what the heck is it with that telephoto camera and these issues, these line gate issues?
I think they fixed it with an update when it was on the 15. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure
I think they did.
An iOS
I remember
update.
Hearing. And it's weird because the telephoto is completely new compared to the 15. So,
well, yeah, because it has a new sensor and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. New sensor, new zoom. It isn't just like the main camera where it has just a minor upgrade, but it has a much bigger upgrade.
Yeah, and the sensor is, I think, 56% larger than the other one. Mind you, they're going from 12 to 48 megapixel, so that'll be a difference there. But yeah, why is it that the telephoto camera does that? Why is it doing it in the 17, and why did it do it in the 15? I don't think it did it in the 16.
So you can only see it. Sorry, do you see it before you do any editing to this? You actually see it in the preview?
Yeah, in the viewfinder.
Yeah. Interesting.
But not before the shot.
It wasn't that way before. With the 15, you had to edit that sucker, and then it'd really show up. And I actually thought it was an Adobe thing because Russell was working on it. So, very, very similar. Yeah, you're right. It was just down a little bit.
What is that? The standard camera app, or what is that?
No, that's Halide.
Halide, okay.
Process 0. Let me go.
So it's really interesting that I cannot select process 0. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, there might be something in the settings then where you have to allow it to do that. But even in Reflex.
This is good comedy, huh? You know what's interesting is I don't see it on mine.
Go to Reflex and try it.
Oh, maybe I do. Yeah, maybe.
Actually, Greg and Dwight are missing. I think missed completely what Shayne was laughing at.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it had
and
something to do with the
as you
cat's
go
butt.
back through the video, you just found your thumbnail for this video.
We were both turned away.
No, the cat was showing you his wide angle lens.
Yeah.
Telling us to reel it in.
Here he comes back again.
Yeah, just check if there's a line there or not. You might need to worm your cat if there's a line there.
Is he having focusing issues?
I hope so. What's up, buddy? Just a baby.
Well,
he's coming into his orangeness.
Yeah.
Hey, Team Orange. So, well, I don't think there's any other, camera issues that we can bring up. We're just going to have to keep an eye on these things and make sure that they get fixed. Hopefully that'll come up with 26.1. And because that focusing in the dark thing, like, in low light scenarios, that's really bothersome. When I think it was when the 14 or maybe even the 13 came out, they really touted nighttime portrait mode type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are trying to take pictures of people in the dark or in the darker scenes and it can't focus, well, that's not going to fly very well. And that would be for the average people that don't do astro work,
You should have seen me out there filming my first video with this thing. Because I've just been using a Samsung for so long, I put this thing on a tripod. It was all blurry. I'm like, what am I forgotten here? What is happening here that Shayne can't remember how to take a bloody photo with an iPhone? And it took like 2 or 3, and then it just started coming good. I thought, okay, no worries. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's an undocumented feature. Don't make a big deal of it. You're really rubbish to 16. Just wait and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg, are you going to put a tech support case in with Apple? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure. I guess we're assuming they're aware of it.
Of the focusing issue?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all should.
Well, what I'll do is I will put a bug in my Apple guy's ear, and he'll hopefully tell me right away if they're aware of it, or maybe if there's even a fix coming, and see what he says. I'm curious to know for sure,
or how we can help in the process.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to hear back from him, if I even do. I don't know, but I mean, he'll have handlers that will be telling him what he can and cannot say, right? So,
sure,
and that's understandable.
I was looking at these photos of the dust under the camera cover.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't tell if that's inside the bloody camera or not. Like, it could just as well be on top of that lens.
Yeah, we'd have to actually physically touch it to confirm.
Yeah. Looking at the photos that I just saw on Reddit, I'm like, has that just been only in your pocket and you've got dust on your lens? Because, there's a lot of Dave.
Dave, you are having one hell of a time with that cat.
Pulling it off, though.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that dust thing's actually a thing yet.
We lost your audio, Dave.
That was audio was on purpose.
Oh,
I muted the microphone when he was making noise. So, but no, as I say, he's like 7 months old and he's fully coming into his orangeness.
Yeah.
If you know, like the myth and behind orange cats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Shayne, you would think there'd be some type of optical inspection as this thing's rolling off the line. Oh yeah,
there has to be.
You would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, don't they say, or I remember they said, we look at each lens individually, so it's each one's color match, so you really can't notice the difference when you zoom in and out. Both, you won't really notice. And, that is something you see a lot of people say, is that when you zoom, you do a zoom from 0.5 all the way to 8, let's say optically, you don't notice the camera jump.
Mm-hmm.
It's smooth. It's literally, if you do that, it literally looks like you got one lens. You don't see the jump. You don't see
You're
it's
talking about
lighter
video?
versus dark. Video, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, other, like in before or other phones, you see people do that, and you can say, oh, that's where it went from one lens to another. The color's a little different, or this, and you really don't notice that on the iPhone. So I really can't believe something as macro size as dust. I mean, it might, but I mean, if something like that happened, someone's immediately fired to miss something that large.
Yeah. Now, I have had times where I'm in photo mode, not video mode, when I'm, whenever I have it set to open at the 1x camera all the time in the Apple camera app. And then when I switch to 8x, if I just jump to 8x, I see it go up, and then there's a little, almost like it zoomed the 1X up to 8x and then jumped over to the 8x, like to the telephoto camera. I'm not sure if that's exactly what's happening, but I think maybe it realizes, okay, it's bright enough to use the telephoto. So, okay, here you go. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what it's doing or not, but it does seem to be, there does seem to be a little jump there. I don't know if it happens every time, but I noticed it today a couple times. So Scott Baker, he took a 30-second shot just outside of his house, I guess, and it's not very dark, and there's because there's a full moon, and I know you can't see that here, folks, but anyway, there's a lot of banding in it, but that's because of the compression on Facebook and that. It's through Messenger. But he didn't tap the focus, and the stars seemed sharp, the few that he could see. And so, I'm going to try not tapping to focus in the dark and see what happens. Maybe there's
no rhyme or reason as to why it works sometimes and why it doesn't work other times.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had it working regardless of what I do. I've had it doing both things. Whether you don't touch it once or touch and hold it, doesn't seem to make a lick of difference.
Yeah. Well, we'll monitor the situation and see what happens. But
incidentally, it seems that Scott Baker doesn't in fact know how to do a 30-second photo.
Yeah, Mr. Baker, because a while ago, he put on there, unsure how to get 30 seconds. And Dave responded with, Scott, talk to your doctor for help. And then Scott came back and said, Dave, they have a Samsung. Oh. So, but anyway, well, I think that's about all we can cover with the camera issues.
He's on the beta 2, he says.
He's on the developer beta 2. So that's kind of, there's a light at the end of that tunnel, and it doesn't appear to be a train coming. So, we'll definitely try that. Dang it, that makes me want to turn on beta updates again. But I'm gonna wait. The moon is so full right now; it's so bright. I can't even do a night shot, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But yeah, well, I think we've covered it best we can. And
great, real quick, and this is a change I think I noticed with the new iOS.
You got to get your soapbox.
Yeah, I got the soapbox. Okay.
Dave is on his soapbox, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on my
soapbox. Okay. So in the past, when I went to events, I would go in, create a folder for photos from the event, and then you would have the option to create a memory video and then make edits and then export that video. So you could post it to, if you wanted to post it to TikTok or Instagram, or if it was a long one, to YouTube or somewhere else you were interested in. So I tried that today because I did an event yesterday on Sunday, and I got my photos together. I put it in a folder. I saw, okay, click here to do the video. It started the video. And I'm like, okay. And I know you can make changes like, oh, I want to have a different filter, or I want to have different music. And I was looking, okay, where do I save it? I don't see a save button. I know I can do a screenshot and record the video that way. I don't want to, that's kind of clunky, but there's no way to say save or make memory from that folder, really, like it used to. Now, I can do that, and the other option now is use iMovie, or use Apple Clips or CapCut or, a third party, but you used to be able to take those memory videos and easily export them as just videos you could post. And I don't see that anymore. And one thing I liked about that was if you did use live photos, you couldn't unfortunately say which one to use, but occasionally it would use they convert that live photo to a short video. So depending on what you're taking a photo of, having a little movement or something happening, it would add a nice little touch to the video. And I don't see where I could do that anymore.
So I'm in an album, and I don't even see how the heck I can make a video.
If you go
like a memory video.
No, and there's no way to do it. You can play a video of the highlights. If you can play video, and then once you're in the middle of playing it, you can hit the 3 dots in the upper right to change how the video looks, but there's no export function.
Okay,
and that was nice.
Okay, so now it's playing a video. And
you should have like a 3-dot option to make changes, but I don't see a way to export it or save it.
There's a share button right there at the top.
There's a share button there. Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. Where am I? Here I am.
Okay.
Oh, come on, focus.
It's put your hand behind it.
Focus, camera.
No, put your hand behind it. Like this. That may help. Okay, I don't.
Oh, so the damn thing. Anyway, right at the top it says share.
Huh. Okay,
so if I was to tap on that, now I can save video.
Okay, I did not see that on mine. Huh. And unfortunately, I'm using my camera as my phone as my camera for the broadcast here, so I really can't try it now, but I will try it when we're off.
Okay. Yeah. To be honest with you, I had to hunt around for that because I think it's different than it was in iOS 18.
And because honestly, that was a nice feature. It was like you say, if you had an event or something, you could manually put them onto a folder, make a quick little video, export it and say, by the way, instead of me showing you 15 photos, here's a quick little 30-second video that kind of highlights everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a darn good point because I love that memories feature in the iPhone. Sometimes it surprises me with a memory will pop up and say, you have a memory of, whatever, right? And all of a sudden, okay, now I can edit this and make this video and share it with family or put it online or whatever. I think it's a great underused feature of the Photos app on the iPhone. I don't know if there's something like that on the Android side. I would think that they must have, some sort of thing in
I'm assuming Google Photos.
Or
I'm assuming
Google Photos,
Google Photos, because I also, you also have Google Photos on iOS, and they have something where you under create, you can create. In fact, I posted it to the Facebook. Yeah, you can create a video from a photo using AI or collage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Or movie down there.
Okay. Is that in Google Photos, Shayne?
No, that's in the gallery on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Which Google Photos and the gallery are very similar. I mean, they're not exactly the same because iOS versus Android, but Google does tend to have feature parity between the two operating systems as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Will says, focusing on stars, how does it function in other apps like Reflex? Well, because Reflex doesn't have night mode, I don't try it. I've never tried taking a night shot with Reflex because based on on Shayne's video history of doing this on the iPhone, really, unless you're doing like a star trail and even longer or something like that, if you're just going to take the Milky Way, you're going to use the iPhone camera, plain and simple, because of the way that it takes, it stacks 3 10-second images for a 30-second shot, and it's just, in my opinion, the best way to do it.
You can absolutely, to answer that question, Will, because those third-party apps generally have manual focusing, so it focuses fine because it does it differently. But the end resulting image, because of the restrictions on the exposure time, is always going to be better with the native camera app.
Yeah. Well, So that's Dave's soapbox moment about the memories, and rightly so. I didn't know what he was going to talk about exactly. So, but yeah, you're right, Dave. It's I heard a lot of people complain about the Photos app going from iOS 17 to 18. That's when they made the big changes, I think, if I remember correctly. And that's one of the things right there that people can complain about, is the fact that it's harder to make these memories. Now, having said that, with Apple Intelligence, I'm putting my fingers up in quotes there, you're supposed to be able to type in something like a place and maybe some names and what they were wearing, that type of thing, and come up with photos like that to put into a memory. I've never tried it with Apple Intelligence to see how it works.
I tried it today, and I tried it with Google Photos and Build in Photos app. Apple got it what I was looking for, but it didn't get all the photos. Where Google got all the photos plus some additional ones, which were kind of close to the criteria, but didn't exactly match it. So, Google gave me like 92 photos as a response, and Apple gave me like 8.
Oh yeah.
And my libraries are pretty much the same on both. So Apple should have definitely came back with a lot more.
Yeah. Well, again, maybe something that can be improved in software. I mean, I know
that's 100% software. Yeah.
I know they're working hard on Apple Intelligence. They're trying to get it better, especially with that bitch they have for a digital assistant. I don't want to even say her name. Its name. I don't even call it her.
About say if we want to do a real throwback for people who've been with us for a long time, it's Mark Zagowski's girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah.
For a tiny shutter throwback.
Yeah. Well, even on this show, he had that wonderful rant that I put out as its own video on YouTube because it was just so funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm not a programmer because I know how hard it is to program this stuff, and I can't imagine what it would be like to do something as big as that. But so I guess we'll call it a night at that. And any final thoughts on any of this stuff that we talked about?
Just wait and see.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us, Shayne, on such short notice.
Ooh, happy to be here.
Hopefully,
Shayne.
You too, guys.
Yeah, hopefully the renovations are going smoothly, and you're measuring twice and cutting once.
I'm not measuring anything.
Oh,
those guys that are doing it out there right now, they're measuring hopefully twice.
Oh, there you go. So, Shayne, you can see his YouTube channel. There's been a link in the description forever, so just scroll down and you'll find it. Shayne Mostyn Mobile Photography, and I think the link for his Facebook group is there as well. And it's a great group, just like our own. We have a lot of talented people, and a lot of them are in both groups. So you'll see some familiar faces in there and their names or whatever. And all our social links or whatever are down the bottom. I really probably should take some of the ones that I don't even use anymore, but they're there anyway. And I guess that's it. Thanks to everybody for joining in the chat. Scott, Will, Ray. I think that's it as far as people who have said anything. But anybody else that's watching live on YouTube, thanks for joining us. And thanks for listening on the audio side. And I guess we'll see you all in the next one.
Have a great one, everyone.
Good night, everyone.